Hi, Thomas Hyman here, and I thought I'd do a very informal presentation today here in my home office to share with you really the opportunity with respect to financial independence that Realty Partners presents. And I want to point out some things that aren't really that clear in the presentation we have online that you probably haven't heard yet. You know, myself, just a brief background. I got into real estate in 2003. Before that, in the early mid-90s, I was a technology entrepreneur. I started one of the world's first e-commerce hosting companies in the mid-90s, which grew to over 35,000 customers in 30 countries, and I merged that company with another business, and it went public in 1999. And then I co-founded the first internet incubator here in the southeastern United States, and we started a number of companies, including the first Microsoft Exchange hosted provider back in 2000, and a wireless company which is still around today, XG Technologies, which went public in 2006. So my background really is as an entrepreneur, and I've started several other businesses along the ways. And I got into real estate really because of the freedom to build a business while being able to stay put, not having to travel. But I'm an entrepreneur, and when I get into business, it's about the opportunity and about making money. And when I decided to start Realty Partners, the main focus really was to create an opportunity for individuals like yourself to build a business and build financial independence and financial freedom for yourself. So to have a vehicle to not only do your real estate business and hang your license, but to actually create wealth for yourself. And Realty Partners is providing that opportunity. We're still a startup, so we're still in the very early stages, kind of like Keller Williams when they were a year old and had 8 agents. So I want to point out a couple of numbers to you to kind of put in focus or in perspective the size of the industry that we're in and the tremendous potential for yourself, and how we don't have to even grow to, huge heights in order to make that potential work for us. So let's take a look at the real estate industry. Right now, in the United States, we have 1.2 million realtors as of July 2016. The number was up to about 1.3 million before it crashed in 2008. It would dip briefly below a million, and we're back up over a million now. We're at 1.2 million Realtor agents, okay? So those are members of the National Association of Realtors. There are many more real estate agents, of course, but that's just Realtors. When you look at the top companies in our industry, NRT is probably the largest company in the industry in terms of sales volume, and NRT owns Coldwell Banker, for example. But in terms of agent count, the biggest company right now is Keller Williams, and Keller Williams has 113,000 agents in the United States, about 135,000 agents worldwide, according to their own statements. And then we have other companies obviously below that. Most companies are privately held, so they're not really broadcasting how many agents they have. But what I personally get excited about is this number here, the 1.2 million agents. So for us to grow big, we don't need to capture a huge market share. If we were to capture a 0.1% market share, which is 1/10 of 1%, that would be 12,000 agents. Keller Williams obviously is much bigger than that. They have about a 10% market share. So 1% would be 12,000 agents, and 0.1% would be about 1,200 agents. So we don't need to go into huge numbers to become very successful. Now, I obviously am investing my time and money and energy and resources because I know how huge this opportunity is. And again, when I decided to launch the company, I structured it specifically so it was agent owned. So the majority of the equity is owned by the agents, and the majority of the earnings obviously is going to the agents. But in return, the agents have to help build the company, and the agents get rewarded for building the company. As opposed to me investing a ton of money in marketing and advertising to grow it, but then I would obviously want to see a return on that investment, and I wouldn't be giving away the majority of the company. And that's why we're growing organically and we're growing slowly, but I want you to see and kind of get a 30,000 foot view for where we're heading and what the opportunity is at that stage. Right now, to give you an idea on the numbers and what's underlying my calculations, is a average net of $10,000, 10K per agent per year. That's what my calculations are based on, and that's what we have actually experienced. Like last year, for example, we were just slightly over $10,000 annually per agent, and that's basically the revenue generated by the agent for the company. So let's take a look at what that looks like at 300 agents, and let's take a look at what it looks like at 1,000 agents. So at 300 agents, we would be generating $3 million, 300 times 10%. At 1,000 agents, obviously $10 million in gross profits. So that is the money brought into the agents, their splits, their fees, and so forth, before general expenditures. Now we're running a very, very tight ship, and we are obviously very heavily vested in technology. And right now we're sort of at a situation where we have 10 agents, and of course we have certain expenses such as our Commissions Inc. platform, which is the same whether we have 5 agents or 30 agents or 50 agents or 100 agents. And so when you're small, your margins are much, much smaller as well. Whereas as you grow, your margins will grow because the key expenses, the top line expenses, such as your rent, your operating expenses, your technology expenses, your website, etc., are not growing in sync with the numbers. So, but at this level here, I figure that our general administrative expense ratio is going to be about 30%. Okay, so that would mean we would have $900,000 come off here. Over here, we would have $3 million come off this number, which would give us a net of 2.1 million at 300 agents, or a net of 7 million at 1,000 agents. So let's stay focused on this here for a second. At 300 agents, and 300 agents is absolutely achievable in a couple of markets. There are brokers right now in Sarasota that have 150, 200 agents, and so looking at the market that we're in right now, plus let's say the Tampa Bay market, 300 agents is absolutely something that is very, very easily achievable without having to capture a huge market share. So once we get to this number of 300 agents, we will make about $2.1 million in net profits. Now, that does not include title, for example. As we get to, let's say, 50 plus closings per month, we will start adding title to that mix, and title will be a significant revenue generator. We can figure about $1,200 to $1,500 per closing in net going up to the company. So that's not even part of that. So maybe we invest more money into marketing to expand rapidly into additional markets, and that'll cost us some more money, but then we'll also be obviously having additional revenue, additional profits coming in from the title side, from the lending side, from insurance side, from other profit centers that we may bring online. So let's take a look at that. And the way we're structured, 55% of this money is going to be paid out to the agents and the associates. And so that means that $1,155,000 at this level will be paid out to the associates. And this is where it really gets exciting. And I ran the numbers. Once we get to this level, whether we have 300 agents or 1,000 agents or 5,000 agents, the amount of profit share is pretty linear because we will obviously generate more profits, but there'll be more agents joining in the profit share. So let's take a look at how these numbers work out as to what is a profit share worth. And again, right now, when we have 5 or 6 productive agents, we're basically covering the nut, and we're not generating a huge profit share. But once we get up to 100, 200, 300 agents, these numbers are going to work out. So let's take a look at the associates. Okay, so associates are sharing in 5% of the company, or the total associate share is $105,000. Now, in order to become an associate, the qualifier is $7,500, which is half the cap. And I figured that on average, 1 in 2 agents that we're going to have will achieve associate status. And so that means out of the 300 agents, we're going to have 150 associates. And that means that this 105,000 divided by 150, it's going to be $700 per associate. Okay? So on average, the associate share is going to be worth about $700 a year to those associates. Let's take a look at junior partner. Junior partners share in 10% of the company's earnings. So the junior partner share is $210,000. And to qualify as a junior partner, you need to generate $30,000 a year between you and your personal group. So that'd be $30,000 between what you bring in and people that you personally refer bring in. So let's say that you cap out yourself and you refer a couple of other people, that might go ahead and get you to junior partner status. I figured when I ran my numbers that 1 in 20 agents is ultimately going to achieve the junior partner status. Okay, so in order to become a junior partner realistically, you have to cap out yourself and refer another 2 agents that are active, or maybe you refer 4 agents and you cap out that way, and then some of those people are going to produce volume to push you up to the 30,000. But I would suggest realistically 1 in 20 is going to achieve the junior partner status. And so what that means, out of 300, we're going to have 15 junior partners. Let me go over to the other side, it might be a little bit easier. So we're going to have 15 that are junior partner, and that means the share for junior partners is going to be worth $14,000 per year. Okay, so if you're a junior partner and we start getting to the 200-300 agent count, we're going to have that 30% general operating margin. You can figure that the junior partner share is worth $14,000. Now partners get 15%, and to qualify, of course, as a partner, you need to generate $60,000, you and your personal group. So realistically, in order to achieve this, when we look at the average agent bringing $10,000 into the company, if you cap out yourself because you do more business than the average agent, you would still have to bring on 5 or 6 other agents to make those numbers work. So at a minimum, you probably have to recruit 5 agents, more likely 6 agents, active agents. So once somebody drops out, you have to replace them, of course, to achieve that. So the numbers here, the pool gets bigger. The 15% pool is worth $315,000, but there'll be fewer people sharing that pool. And I figured on the partner side, it's going to be 1 in 50. Okay, so here we go. 1 in 2, 1 in 20. On the partner side, 1 in 50. 1 in 50 will achieve partner status on average, which means we're going to have 6 partners, and the share of each partner is going to be $52,500. Okay? So we're going to have 6 partners out of the 300 agents. We're going to have 6 partners that are going to be getting $52,500 each for their partner share. And then we have senior partner, and I figure conservatively 1 in 100 is going to make it a senior partner. It could be 1 in 100, it could be 1 in 150. So out of these 300, there may be 2, 3 at the most senior partners in the batch. Now, of course, the senior partners get 25% of the earnings. So the senior partners together are going to share $525,000, which means if there are 3 senior partners, each share is going to be worth $175,000. Okay, so to qualify, of course, here is $150,000 per year. And so these are going to be the business builders. These are the people that are going to recruit 10, 15 people in order to make these numbers work. And as a result, they're going to be rewarded the most, and 25% of the equity and 25% of the earnings are going to be paid to this senior partner group. And we obviously need these kind of people to help us grow the business and get to where we want to go. My goal for Realty Partners is to be one of the top 3 real estate brands in real estate ultimately. Now, this might take us 15, 20 years to get there, but that's my goal. My goal is to build a multi-billion-dollar company, and obviously we need to walk before we can run. And when you look at the usual trajectory of a business, and that's true for any business. So if you look at, Keller Williams, for example, you would see the same thing. And this here is time, and this here is the growth. Whether it's dollar or agent count or whatever it is. The trajectory always looks like this. Initially, you barely see any difference, and then all of a sudden, you start to build momentum and you get into this exponential phase. And so obviously, we're right now down here, and it doesn't look like we're making much progress, but that is part of the equation. I mean, if right now we had a 50% growth next month, that would only be an additional 5 agents, but it won't look like much of a difference in the grand scheme when you compare to 100,000 agents. So coming back to this situation, another thing to keep in mind is that as a junior partner, you get your junior partner share and the associate share. So a junior partner really is going to get a total of $14,700 per year. Once you hit partner, you receive all three because you keep your associate share plus your junior partner share plus your partner share. So your total earnings as a partner would not be $52,500, it would be $67,200 per year. And as a senior partner, you get to receive all four bonuses. So as a senior partner, your total income is not $175,000, but it is $242,200 per year as a senior partner. So let me ask you this. What would you be willing to do in order to have the opportunity to generate a $15,000 or $67,000 or $240,000 passive residual income for the rest of your life? And these numbers pretty much will stay the same whether we have 1,000 or 10,000 agents. The ratios will remain the same, and the income per partner share are going to be the same. They'll probably go up because we'll obviously add additional profit centers to it. So, but I want you to ask yourself that question. And if you recruited 2 agents a year and it took you 5 years to get 10 agents, and then you're going to qualify as senior partner, and then you put in 5 more years to re-qualify so you're vested, so it took you a total of 10 years to become vested as a senior partner, would that be worth it to be able to truly retire and have this residual passive income coming in? Or again, what if you had another $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month coming in right now? Okay, here to become partner is not that difficult. What if it took you 5 years of qualifying to get to this position here and then be able to retire having a $5,000 a month residual income? So obviously these are projections, these are not promises, but these are the numbers that you can realistically expect as the company gets to that growth. So let's take a look at, and just to make sure that you fully understand what is required to qualify for these positions and what we can do this year to supercharge that just a little bit. And I'm fully cognizant of the fact that, most agents are going to be very much focused on their own business. So, very possibly you are really not interested in building Realty Partners, and that residual income aspect is just a little afterthought. But that's not what you're in for. You just want to build your own real estate business, and that's perfectly fine. But there is a huge opportunity for you to earn $15,000, $65,000, $240,000 a year in residual income as the company grows. And unlike any of the other companies, and we're going to start doing some videos comparing Keller Williams to Realty Partners, Exit to Realty Partners, EXP to Realty Partners, Remax to Realty Partners, and so forth. Unlike any of the other companies, once you qualify for a position, it's a true corporate profit share, not something based on your own production, not something based on the production of the office that you happen to be in, not something based on the production of the people that you refer to the company, but it's the overall corporate entity altogether, all offices, all profit centers, all residuals together is what you draw your profit share on. And that's something that has never ever been done before in the real estate industry. There is no other company that is owned by the agents truly, where the majority of the equity is held by the agents, and where the agents are tied into the revenue centers and the earning power the way we are with Realty Partners. So again, this year we have a special promotion that we will absolutely not extend past December 31st of this year. So this is the last opportunity to take advantage of this. And so again, we have our associate, junior partner, partner, and senior partner position. And the qualifiers for these are $7,500 for associate. That's fairly easy to achieve, obviously. That's half of your own cap rate. Junior partner is $30,000. Partner is $60,000. And senior partner is $150,000. And normally the way the process works is that an agent hits a qualifier, and you need to hit that qualifier anytime before December 31st to qualify for that year. So let's say you hit the qualifier 1 year, and that now qualifies you for the profit sharing, which means you get the full profit share that is paid out to that position. But you need to qualify 4 more times. You have to qualify 5 years in a row before you become vested. And when you become vested, a couple of things happen. Number one, you now become a shareholder, and you no longer have to re-qualify. You become a shareholder, a co-owner in the company at that level, at that share, and you're good for forever. And you can will that share to your family. You can transfer it. You can sell it. You can retire. You can leave the company. Whatever happens, you still get to benefit from those shares, or your heirs will, without any kind of haircuts or discounts. Number two, once you become a co-owner, once you become a shareholder, your income is going to be treated differently. Let's say you're here at the partner level and you get a $65,000 profit share at the end of the year. That $65,000 is going to be 1099 miscellaneous income as a profit share. And that means it's subject to self-employment tax, etc., etc. Whereas once you vest and once you become an actual shareholder, now your income is reported on a Form K-1, and it's partnership income. So it's not subject to self-employment tax. So you don't have to pay that 15.5% or whatever it is self-employment tax, Social Security tax on it. And you receive favorable tax treatment, so which will be a huge savings on your tax bill. But again, you qualify first, now you participate in the profit sharing, you qualify again and again and again and again, and after you've qualified 5 years in a row, you can't skip a year, otherwise the clock starts over, then you become fully vested, and now you are a shareholder and a co-owner. Now this year we decided that we want to supercharge this, and so the first benefit that we have this year is immediate vesting, okay? And I know my handwriting is horrible. So when you hit any of these numbers this year, you immediately fully vest at that level, okay? So let's say, for example, let's say you joined just today, and you refer 4 people. So there's you and 4 people, 4 agents. Number one, you immediately vest and you get full credit for that $15,000, even if you haven't had a single closing. So you immediately have $15,000 volume based on you capping out by referring 4 agents. And now anything can happen here. These 4 people are going to have closings. Maybe they together generate $15,000, or maybe this person here does the same thing, and she's a go-getter and refers 4 people. Well, she caps out. She gets $15,000 in credit, which would be part of your group. So now you're at $30,000 in volume. You know, that can happen very quickly with the right people. And once you hit that $30,000, you not only qualify for the junior partner profit share, but you now become fully vested as a junior partner. And yes, we're not yet at 200-300 agents, so the profit share this year is going to be much smaller. But as the company grows, a couple of years from now, we will be at 200-300 agents, and then your profit share will be at that amount. So number one benefit right now, if you hit any of these qualifiers by December 31st, 2016, you fully vest immediately, okay? Now, the second benefit is we discounted the profit share. Cut in half. So not only do we want to offer an opportunity to agents to vest quickly and have a number of agents vested as a co-owner by the end of this year, but we also want to make it easier for people to hit their first year profit sharing qualifier this year, okay? And so what we've done is we decided to cut the profit share in half. So to qualify for the associate profit share, all you need to hit is $3,750 and you will qualify for the associate profit share this year. For a junior partner, all you have to do is hit $15,000 to qualify for the junior partner profit share for your first year. Next year, obviously, you're going to have to hit $30,000 to qualify for year two, but it's a way to fast track things. I mean, let's say you join December 1st and you recruit 4 agents before the end of the year, you're capped out, you qualified for your first year profit share, even if those 4 people don't do anything and aren't generating any volume yet. For partner, you only need to generate $30,000 to qualify for your first year profit sharing. So let's say, for example, you're this person here and you referred a few people and they had some closing and some of them referred some other people and you generate $30,000 in volume. Number one, you obviously qualify and fully vest as a junior partner at that level. So you're both an associate shareholder and a junior partner shareholder, fully vested in both those positions. But you also now qualify for the first year profit sharing at the partner level. Now next year, to make next year year two, you would have to hit $60,000, you and your group. But you already have a head start, and then next year you continue to refer a few people, and hitting that $60,000 is going to be so much easier because you're already halfway there to start. Because whatever you had in terms of qualifying this year will carry over again next year. If you refer 4 people and those 4 people remain active and you have 4 people under you that you personally referred, then obviously next year also you're fully capped out. You're at 100%, you get credit for the $15,000. So you get a head start. And then for senior partner, all you would need is $75,000 to hit this for your first year qualifier. So how could someone right now still qualify for senior partner? Well, $75,000 divided by 15,000 would be a total of 6. Okay? Sorry, a total of 5. So 5 times 15,000 is $75,000. So let's say if here's you and you are a recruiter and you go ahead and you recruit 5 or 6 people, whatever, but at least 5 people, obviously you will have capped out at that level and you get $15,000 volume. But let's say that these 5 people do the same. So you recruit 5 go-getters that see the opportunity, that want to build a financial foundation for themselves, and they go out and share it with 4 people. Then that would be a fast track to get to the senior partner profit sharing at $75,000. Of course, this is not going to be easy. You would give birth to a total of 25 agents, so you would be responsible for bringing on board 25 agents directly and indirectly, but it is possible to do so, okay? And then next year, obviously, you would build on top of that and recruit another 5 or 6 or 7 people, and you can get to senior partner. Again, the senior partner level, this is something that I'm personally gunning for myself. The only way you're going to get to this level is through recruiting and helping build the company. So we set aside 25% of the company specifically for those people that help us the most in growing the business. And of course, right now that we're still brand new, we're still very young, we don't have all the resources that we will have a year or two from now, people don't know us yet, etc., etc. It's obviously much harder than it will be later on. So, but that's just the nature of life and the nature of business. So I wanted to just go through this presentation and make sure that you really understand what's at stake, both opportunity-wise as well as what's required to make that happen. And again, remember, associate, very easy to achieve, will be worth about $700 per share. Junior partner, harder to achieve, will be about $14,000 per share. Partner, 1 in 50 will make partner, $52,500 a share. And 1 in 100 to 1 in 150 are going to hit senior partner, and that's going to be $175,000 per share approximately. And obviously, as a senior partner, you also get all the other benefits. So your actual senior partner is more like $240,000, and your actual partner is more in the $64,000, $65,000 range. So that is the opportunity. And if this excites you, then I invite you to help spread the word for Realty Partners. These coming 90 days, we're going to do a lot of marketing and PR. We're going to have a monthly career nights again. We tested evening, we tested morning, but we didn't get any response to the morning one, but we got response to the evening one. So we're going to have a monthly evening one, September 1st, and then October, and then November again. We're going to do direct mail cards. We're going to do online marketing, Facebook marketing, Craigslist marketing. And so if you have anyone that is interested, that would be a potential candidate for Realty Partners, and it would really be any real estate agent. As you know, we're providing some tools that nobody else is providing with Commissions Inc., for example, and we're saving agents a lot of money, but we also offer this opportunity which no one else does. So if you have someone that you think could benefit from that, that you think could be excited by the opportunity to generate a 5 or 6 figure residual passive income for life, then invite them to our evening events, or invite them to meet with me in person. We can do a meeting 201 together at the office to meet with them, or I'll be happy to talk to them on the phone, or get together with them for a Starbucks. Obviously, it's going to be completely confidential. But this is the opportunity, and this is what it takes in order to make it happen. And again, most people will hit associate. To become a junior partner, realistically, you're going to have to probably cap out yourself and recruit 2 or 3 people. For partner, you're going to have to recruit 5 or 6 people, at least on average. And for senior partner, you're going to have to recruit 10 to 15 people to achieve that volume. And even if it takes a few years to get there, I think the rewards are well worth it. And so I invite you to help me with that. Thank you so much for taking the time, and feel free to drop me a line if you have any questions at all. I'll be happy to talk to you about it further. Thanks.